Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we'll be starting chapter 13, Nature, the Enjoyer and Consciousness. And before we start the class, please let us take the blessings of the beautiful deities of ISKCON Mangaluru, Sri Radha Govinda Ji. Sri Radha Govinda Ji ki Jai. Okay, the sections of how many sections are there in the Bhagavad Gita? Okay, the first, so it is divided into three parts. Okay, 1 to 6, 7 to 12, and 13 to 18. Okay, so 1 to 6 chapter, it deals with the bhakti through karma. And second section is 7 to 12, chapter 7 to 12 is bhakti itself. And again from 13 to 18 is Gnana, bhakti through Gnana, means knowledge. Okay, so first 6 chapters are about karma, bhakti through karma, action on the platform of knowledge, perfection of actions, actions performed. So means work, the actions performed to please Lord Krishna. So work through bhakti. Bhakti through work. And this is Bhakti Yoga itself, Bhakti itself, chapter 72, 7 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga itself. And chapter 13 to 18 is Gnana, perfection of Gnana, Bhakti Yoga. So, Bhakti through Gnana, through knowledge. So, today we'll be starting 13. So, we'll be knowing more about Bhakti, how Bhakti can be attained, the knowledge will be gaining. See, if Bhakti is the culmination, why is Gnana presented in the last 6 chapters? So we may be wondering, see, Bhakti is everything, and we've covered Bhakti in chapters 7 to 12. Then why are we discussing again about why is Gnana presented in the last 6 chapters? What is the necessity? Okay, so what they're explaining why. In truth, the entire Bhagavad Gita is Bhakti. The first 6 chapters discuss how to achieve Bhakti through work. Okay, the last 6 describes how to achieve it through knowledge, and the middle 6 discuss the Bhakti itself. Also, in the 12th chapter, Krishna explained how he personally delivers his devotees from birth and death. Right? So the last 6 chapters provide the philosophical knowledge necessary to extricate oneself from the material world. So if you see from today's chapter onwards, you'll get the knowledge, right? What is the material world, first of all, right? Why should we try to get out of this material world? So what is needed? What has to be done? That knowledge, if we have, then we'll start doing devotional service. So the last few chapters that we are dealing, it gives knowledge, right, through which we can attain bhakti. Okay, that is why it is important. See, if you don't have knowledge and if you blindly do bhakti, it is like it becomes sentimental. So you should have that knowledge, that basis should be there. Why we have to do bhakti? So that knowledge is provided in the last few chapters. Okay. Gnana has its use in assisting our detachment. See, when you know that perfect knowledge, you will it will help you in getting detached from the material world. Why you have to get detached? If you have that knowledge, then automatically that vairagya will come in you. Then Gnana has its use in assisting our detachment from Maya and our attachment to Krishna. So it helps us get detached from the material world, that is from Maya, and get attached to Krishna. Hence, when we use knowledge as a means to attain devotion, it becomes a part of bhakti. Okay. So now in chapter 13, Arjuna starts by asking 6 questions. Okay. What are the 6 questions he asks? Arjuna said, "Oh my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti." Prakriti means material nature, right? Purusha, the enjoyer. and the field and the knower of the field and of knowledge and the end of knowledge. So he asked these 6 questions. Now the blessed Lord then said, this body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, and the one who knows this body is called the knower of the field. So in the first shloka, Krishna answers he answers two questions. Yeah, Arjuna asks 6 questions, and in that the questions that Krishna answers is, O son of Kunti, the body. So what is Kshetra? Kshetra is a Sanskrit word. Kshetra means field. What is the field? So Krishna is telling the body, this material body is called the field. And who is called Kshetragna? Kshetragna means, Kshetragna is a Sanskrit term. The knower of this field means the knower of this body is called Kshetragna. So please try to, assimilate or absorb these words. They are very important, and they'll be repeated again and again. Like Kshetra, Kshetragna, Gnana, Gneyam. So these terms will be repeated. So please don't get confused. Okay, Kshetra means body. This material body is called Kshetra, means it is called the field of activity where everything happens, is called the body. Okay, Kshetragna means the knower of the body. That is the soul. Okay, and then in the next shloka we'll discuss what is Gnana, Gneyam, all that. Okay. So here in the first shloka, he out of the 6, Krishna answers the first 2. Okay, all answers are given here. See, Prakriti means what? Material nature. Purusha means the enjoyer of Prakriti. Kshetra means the body, Shariram. Kshetragna means the knower of the body. Who is the knower of the body? The soul. So, along with the soul, who is there? Super soul is also present in the heart, right? And Gnanam. Gnanam means knowledge. So, what is the knowledge that we have to understand? Knowledge of the Kshetra and Kshetragna. Kshetra means what? The body. Kshetragna means soul and super soul. So, knowledge is nothing but knowing about the body, soul, and the super soul. And Gneyam. Gneyam means the goal of knowledge. What is the goal, object of knowledge? So, that is knowing Paramatma. Okay, Paramatma or super soul. To know him is the goal of knowledge. So here, why are they showing this picture here is they're trying to compare. See, there is a lot of difference between the soul and the super soul. The soul, it knows the pains and pleasures of its own body. The super soul, he is present in every living entity. So that is why he knows the pains and pleasures of every living entity. So this example, this analogy they're showing in the PPT is, see, the farmer, he may know everything about his land, right? Like just how the soul knows its bodily pains and pleasures. It does not know the pains and pleasures of others. So like that, a farmer, he knows everything about his field, but he doesn't know everything about the neighbor's field, right? So, but the king, he knows the land. About the field of everybody in his kingdom. Like the super soul, he knows the pains and pleasures. He is present in every living entity. So he knows the pains and pleasures of every living entity. So that is the difference they're trying to say. Right there, when they're comparing with this analogy, they're trying to say that the super soul is very limited. It knows only about its body to a certain extent. Right? But the super soul who is present in every jiva, he knows the pains and pleasures of every living entity. Okay, so we have to know that the soul and the super soul are never equal, right? The super soul is like he's great, he's Vibhu, we are Anu. Okay, so he is present as a super soul in every living entity. So he knows the pains and pleasures of every living entity, but the individual soul knows the pains and pleasures of his or her own body. Okay. See, kshetra means body. For whom? Who gets body as the field of activity? So, how do we get in this material world, this body? How do we get? Who gets the body? It's the conditioned soul, right? Why? Why does he get? Soul is entrapped in the material existence because of his attempts to lord it over. So, why does the soul, first of all, come to this material world? Because he wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna. So, that is why we got separated from Krishna in the spiritual world. And Krishna, he made the separate material world where we could enjoy as masters of the universe. Because in the spiritual world, Krishna said, I am the only enjoyer here. You can't be the master here. So I will create a separate place where you can be the master or you can enjoy. So that is the reason we come into this material world of Prakriti. Okay, because we wanted to lord it over. We want to be like Krishna. We want to be the enjoyer. We wanted to be the master. So that's why we get this material body. We come to this material world, and when we come to this material world, we are forced to take a material body. Criteria, I mean, like, how do we know which body we are going to get when we are coming to this material world, right? So how according to the capacity to dominate material energy, so how much we want to dominate, how much we want to enjoy, depending on that we will get different senses. See, according to the capacity to enjoy sense gratification, one gets a particular body to function accordingly. See, if depends on how much he wants to enjoy, how much he wants to show his dominance in the material world. Okay, if he's too much interested in food, maybe he'll get a body of a pig. If he's too much interested in exposing his body, maybe he'll get the body of a tree. So I'm just trying to give an example. If he's interested in eating meat, he will get the body of a tiger, for example, like that. So depending on what your desire is, right, how you want to enjoy or dominate in this material world, depending on that, you will get the body. Okay, so that is how the body is decided. So this is about Kshetra, the body, the material body. Now Kshetragna means the knower of the body. That is the soul and the super soul. Both. Actually, super soul is the main knower, and individual soul is the secondary knower. Okay. How to understand the difference between the body and the knower of the body. See, how do we know the difference between body and soul? The body, it changes. See, based on the changing phases of the body, we know that body changes, right? We were initially a baby to then we become a boy. From boy to we change to young person, young to a young person to adult, adult to old age. So like that, we keep adult to old age, and then finally we die. So we keep changing. So physically, there are different phases in our life. We keep changing. So that we can assume that we are the body. So everything changes in the material world. There is always change going on in the material world, but the soul is constant. There is no change. Soul is eternal, Satchidananda. It is eternal. It does not change. It is always constant. It is the same. Okay, so that is the difference between body and soul. Comparison of knowledge in three sections of Bhagavad Gita. This we saw, right? 1 to 6, what is that? 7 to 12, what? And then 13 to 16, 18 we saw what? Okay. So 13.3. Kshetragnam chapi mam viddhi sarva kshetreshu bharata kshetra kshetragna nayor yattach jnanam matam mama. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. O Scion of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies, and to understand this body and its owner is called knowledge. That is my opinion. So here Krishna is trying to say that along with the soul, see, you can see in the picture, right? along with the soul, who is there? Super soul is there. So Krishna is telling, I am also the knower in all bodies. So as super soul, I am also there in all bodies along with the soul. Okay. And to understand this body and its owner is called knowledge. So what is knowledge? Knowledge means to know about Kshetra and Kshetragna. Kshetra means what? Body. Kshetragna means soul and super soul. So to know about body, soul and super soul is called knowledge. That is what Krishna is telling here. Okay. See, same thing he's saying. See, he defines Kshetragna and Gnanam. The Kshetragna means what? Answer to fourth question. Kshetragna means what? There are two knowers. So first knower we came to know is the soul. Second knower is what? Super soul. There's also a second knower of all fields, the super soul. Right? In the heart, there is soul and super soul. Both are present, right? In the body. And fifth question, what is Gnanam? Knowledge means what? To understand the body. Jnana means Kshetra and Kshetragna. The body, the soul, and the super soul. To know that knowledge, that is called knowledge. So knowledge means to study the subject matter of the field of activity, the knower of field very minutely. Okay, Kshetra means what? Field of body, field of activity, that is the body where everything happens. And so, what is knowledge? Kshetra and Kshetragna. So, Kshetra means body, and Kshetragna means what? Who are the two kinds of knowers of the body? Super soul and individual soul. And super soul, how Krishna is the knower? He is also the knower, right? One knower is individual soul, other is super soul, right? How he is the knower? Super soul is the plenary expansion of Krishna. So Krishna says, I am also the knower, but not the individual knower of the body. He is present in every body as a supreme knower. So individual soul is present. I mean, like he knows the pains and pleasures of his own body, but here Krishna is saying that I am the super soul. I am not the individual. I mean, like I am present in every living entity. So I know every body. Okay, so I am present in every body as the super soul. So I know every living entity's pains and pleasures. Okay. So knowledge means what? Knowledge means to know about Kshetra and Kshetragna. Kshetra means body. Kshetragna means soul and super soul. So to know about body, soul and super soul is knowledge. Okay, what is the difference between soul and super soul? So living entities are no, they're trying to say, see, the soul and super soul can never be on the same platform. So super soul is Krishna himself, right? An expansion of Krishna is the super soul. Okay, and soul is like individual. We are like conditioned souls, right? But the Jivas. How can we be equal to the super soul, Krishna, right? So that's why they're telling the difference between the soul and the super soul. The living entities are known as Jivatma. So God as maintainer is known as Paramatma. God is the maintainer of all the living entities. He's known as Paramatma. And what is the size of the soul? It is 1/10,000 the size of the tip of the hair. And obviously, super soul is spread everywhere, so he's infinite. He's Vibhu. We are Anu, very small. He is very big, infinitesimal. We can't measure. He's present everywhere. He's cognizant of one's own body. So he's the individual knower. So he knows the pains and pleasures of his own body. But cognizant of everyone. Super soul, he's present in is present as a super soul in every living entity. So he knows the pains and pleasures of every living entity. And the soul is secondary proprietor for a body, right? And super soul is the supreme proprietor of the body, right? So first proprietor is the super soul, and then the second proprietor is second in charge is the soul, individual soul. Okay. And analogy, citizen as the proprietary of one land. We saw that we saw the analogy, right? So like that, the farmer may know everything about his body, I mean his field, and but the king, he knows about the fields of everybody in his kingdom. So that is the thing is being said here. This okay, and then the soul is the secondary controller of senses. Okay, Krishna is called, he's called Rishikesha, right? So he is the control of all of senses. So Supreme Lord is the supreme controller of all the senses, and the soul is the secondary controller of senses. Okay, soul is fallible, super soul is infallible. So fallible means he falls. He's a Baddha Jiva, right? He falls in the material world depending on his desires, right? He falls down. Right? There's every chance that he falls down and comes back to the material world because of his innumerable desires, right? And super soul is infallible. He's above the material world, so there's no scope of his falling down. He is spiritual, and he's untouched by the material world, so there's no chance of his falling down in the material world. Soul is a loving servitor. So what is the swarupa of the soul? It's Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nityadas. So we are Nityadas, we are loving servitors of Krishna. And the super soul is the eternally, he's a loving master. And the souls are innumerable in quantity, right? And the super soul is only one. He is the one who maintains all these souls, right? So the super soul is one, and the souls are innumerable in quantity. So don't think that because Paramatma is present in every living entity, it means that there are so many Paramatmas. That same one Paramatma is present in every living entity. So Paramatma is always one. Though he is present in everybody, every living entity, or throughout the world, he is only one. Doesn't mean that though he's present in all throughout the world, so many Paramatmas are there. No. He is that only one Paramatma is there in everybody. Okay. 4. Tat kshetram yaccha yadricha yad vikari yatascha yad sacha yo yad prabhavascha tat samasena me shrunu. Now please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what its changes are, whence it is produced, who that knower of the field of activities is, and what his influences are. Okay, so now Krishna is saying, he's trying to explain about the body, how it is constituted, what its changes are. So, what is the field? Kshetra means what Krishna says, the body is the, I mean, see, he tells, he's basically he wants to tell what this body is, how is it made, how it changes, where it comes from, who the knower inside it is, and what his influence is. So it's like the whole thing, like it's like the complete spiritual science in one verse. So Krishna is trying to explain. See, what is the body made up of? Anybody?
Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji?
air, water, fire, earth, ether.
Hari Bol. Perfect, Prabhuji. Yes.
Five elements.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Mataji. Perfect, perfect. Yeah. So the body is made up. How is the body made? So Krishna is saying the body is made of these 5 gross material elements, that is water, fire, air, ether. And what are the subtle elements it is made up of?
Knowledge, mind, all these things. Senses,
Mind, intelligence, false
mind.
ego.
Yes, correct, correct, Mataji and Prabhu, correct. Yeah, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Correct, correct. Yes. So these are the subtle things we can't see, but they exist. So mind, intelligence, and false ego. So the body is dead matter. See, though it is made up, the body is made up of all these, it is just dead matter. Until the soul enters, it is just made up of these elements, that's all. It is not alive. It's like a dead body with all the materials, right? The body is made up of all these 8, I mean, like gross and subtle elements. It just lays like that. It is not active until the soul enters it. That consciousness comes alive only when the soul enters. Until that time, it is like inactive. Okay, it is not alive. And what are the changes the body undergoes? Next, see first how it is constituted, means what it is made up of. What are its changes? What are the changes it undergoes? We know that the body, everything, anything that is there in the material world, it undergoes different changes, right? So here also the body undergoes different changes like birth, the growth, maintenance, byproducts, means we deliver children, right? That is byproducts. Then decline, slowly we die, we become old, and then finally we die. So like it undergoes different changes. So the body is constantly changing, but the one, I mean, like the soul inside the body is never changing. He is constant. He's like that only, right? He is spirit, right? Soul is spiritual in nature. It doesn't change. It is eternal. It remains the same, right? But the body changes. Constantly keeps changing. Okay. And third, who that knower of the field is. Who is the knower? It is the soul, right? Who knows everything about the body? It is the soul. See, what do you say? You generally say my hand, my mind, my thoughts. So it means that you are not the body. If you are the body, you would have said I hand, I mind, I thoughts. But do you say I mind, I thought, I hands, I hand? You don't say that, right? You say my hand. It means this is not this body, this hand is not your hand, right? It's the soul's. So when you say my hand, the soul also has inside, it has hands like how it has the body has, right? So that's why you're saying my hand. So it is not the hand that is referring to the body, it is referring to the soul. So we are not the body, we are the soul. Okay, so that we have to understand. So we are different from the body. So we are not the body, we are the soul, right? And there is one more knower besides the soul, that is the super soul. So Krishna is saying that there is, see, you are not the body, you are the soul, and besides the soul, there is another supreme knower. Okay, that supreme is the source of everything. Okay, so when we know everything about this supreme, I mean, a super soul, real devotion becomes strong. That's what they're trying to say here. Okay, and next, where does the body come from? Okay, it appears to be coming from material nature. Actually, yeah, it comes from material nature, but how does it come? With the help of Krishna, right? The bodies take birth from material nature, true, obviously. The body comes from material nature. And what is the material nature made up of? Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, false ego. So Krishna, he's trying to explain the body comes from material nature, right? But that material nature works under his supervision. Okay, that material nature is under his control. It works under his supervision. Okay, the soul is eternal. The super soul is the supreme controller. Okay, so this we have to know. So where does the body come from? It comes from Prakriti, but Prakriti or material nature is under the supervision of Krishna or the super soul. Okay. And last one is like what his influences are. Okay, because the soul is present, the body is alive. The influence they're talking about, right? See, the body is, otherwise it is dead matter. Without the soul, it is like dead matter. There is no consciousness. You pull the hair of the dead body, or you pinch it, or you slap it, there is no reaction. Until the soul is there is no reaction. As soon as the soul enters, there is some change. If you slap somebody, they will immediately say, hey, why are you slapping me? Right? There'll be a reaction, something or the other, right? So like that. Okay, there is consciousness. That is the influence. Okay, and because of the presence of the soul, actions and karma happen. So when the soul leaves the body is lifeless. Okay? And we have to know, besides the soul, who else is there? The super soul is also there. Okay, the super soul, he is the supreme knower. He is Paramatma in everybody's body. What does he do as Paramatma? He acts as, he is like a witness. Okay, he permits actions, he controls material nature, he gives remembrance. Sitting inside the heart, he gives remembrance and forgetfulness. Okay, so that is what Paramatma he does. He guides, he permits, he's like a witness, he sanctions our wishes, and he gives remembrance and forgetfulness. Okay, so this is the fourth shloka. Now let's go to the fifth shloka. ऋषिभिर् बहुधा गीतं छन्दोभिर्विविधैः पृथक् ब्रह्मसूत्रपदैश्चैव हेतुमद्भिर्विनिश्चितैः. That knowledge of the field of activities and of the knower of the activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writings. It is especially presented in the Vedanta Sutra with all reasoning as to cause and effect. Okay. Okay, so let's first see here. So Krishna says in the shloka 5, this knowledge about the body, the soul, and the super soul is not something new. Okay, it has already been explained by great sages in the Vedas and the Upanishads. Okay, so we should not think that it is like because it is just Krishna telling out of his own will. No, he is providing evidence from the Shastras. It is not something new that I am telling. It is already told by our great sages that they exist. The concept of body, soul, and super soul, it exists in our Shastras. It is there in the Vedas and Upanishads, and it is described by our great sages. Okay, so Krishna, he is not speaking something out of imagination. So he is confirming through the Shastras. It is there in the Vedas and Upanishads. So why Krishna is mentioning the Vedanta Sutra? The Vedanta Sutra is very logical and it is very precise. See, it explains the spiritual truth through cause and effect. For example, it tells us about the Vedanta tells us about what is matter, what is soul, what is supreme, are they same or different. So it analyzes carefully. So it gives information of all this. Okay, so Krishna is telling he's saying that, see, what I am telling you is in accordance with the highest philosophical authority, that is the Vedas. I'm talking what is there in the Vedas only. I'm not telling something out of my own whim. Okay, so that is one thing. So that is one proof he's showing through the Vedas. And through the Upanishads also it is mentioned. How? We'll see through these 5 koshas. So in the Upanishads, all it's discussed about all these koshas. So first kosha is the Annamaya. You're seeing in the PPT, right? First kosha is Annamaya kosha. Means it is what? Anna means what? Food. So at this stage, a person, he just thinks about, he thinks that I am the body. See, initially the man, he thinks he thinks I'm this body. So my life is centered on eating, physical survival, bodily comfort. Okay, so this is what he thinks initially, in the initial stage, Annamaya stage, right? So this is totally external, bodily concept. Okay, so this is the Annamaya stage. This is the lowest stage. So next is Pranamaya. So Pranamaya means what? Life force. So Prana means what? Life air or vital energy. So now next stage, like once he crosses that stage, next stage he understands, the person understands, okay, I'm not just the body, I'm the living force inside it. Okay, now the focus shifts to breathing. From food, he comes to breathing. So he understands to breathing, vitality, health, life energy. Okay, so this is deeper than body, but it is still not full realization. Okay, so at least he's come from that bodily, external bodily concept. He's come to the next level, that is, he thinks that it is breathing. Prana. He comes to the stage of prana. He understands that he is the living force inside it. Okay. Then after pranamaya, next he comes to gnanamaya. That is manomaya. So the mental or intellectual layer. So now his awareness expands further now. Okay. Now he thinks he's able to, I mean, like he understands that I am a conscious being. I can think, I can feel, I can will. Okay, so now focus becomes on thought, understanding, philosophy, self-awareness. Right? So Gnanamaya stage, he understands that he can think, feel, will. So it is a higher stage than Pranamaya. But it is still not complete spiritual realization. So Annamaya is food, Pranamaya is life air, Gnanamaya is about thinking, feeling, willing. Okay, higher but still not complete spiritual realization. So next from Gnanamaya, next it is Vijnanamaya, means spiritual self-realization. So here the person, he realizes that I am not the body, I am not the mind. Okay, I'm the eternal soul. He understands that. Okay, so now there is a clear distinction between matter and soul. He understands that he is not this body, he is the soul at this stage. In the Vijnanamaya stage, he understands. So he attains freedom from bodily identification. Okay, he understands he's the soul and he's not the body. So all the other three are on terms of like bodily material things, right? They like body means food. First stage Annamaya means food. Pranamaya means life air, that is breathing. Gnanamaya means what? It's about the mind. So thinking, feeling, willing. So mind is also material. So all these are material. But in Vijnanamaya stage, he understands, okay, I'm not the body, I'm not the life air, I'm not the mind. I am soul, different from the body. So in Vijnanamaya, he understands that thing. And next is Anandamaya, final stage. So we all have to come to this Anandamaya stage, the blissful spiritual stage. So this is the highest stage. The soul does not realize, I mean, like here he establishes a loving service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when he starts serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he gets highest bliss or happiness here. Okay, so when the individual soul connects with that supreme bliss through devotion, he gets the highest happiness. Okay, this is what we should all aim for. So now we all can decide where we are, whether we are on the Annamaya stage or Pranamaya stage or Gnanamaya stage or Vijnanamaya stage or where we are. Okay, and then we should try to progress until we reach the Anandamaya stage. Muhurtam. Okay. So in the phenomenal manifestation, there are three stages: the stage of consciousness, the stage of semi-consciousness in dreaming, and the stage of unconsciousness. But your lordship is transcendental to all these different material stages of existence. You exist, therefore, in a fourth dimension, and your appearance and disappearance do not depend on anything beyond yourself. You are the supreme cause of everything, but of you there is no cause. You yourself cause your own appearance and disappearance. Despite your transcendental position, my lord, in order to show your six opulences and advertise your transcendental qualities, you have appeared in your different incarnations: fish, tortoise, boar, Nrsimha, Keshava, and others, by your personal manifestation. And you have appeared as different living entities by your separate manifestation. By your internal potency, you may appear as the different incarnations of Vishnu, and by your external potency, you may appear as the phenomenal world. Okay, so they're talking about Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, where he comes in different expansions, how Krishna can come and how he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they're talking about his greatness. Okay. So 13.67. The 5 great elements: false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses. So now they're talking about in 6 to 7, they're talking about the 24 elements the body is made up of. Okay, what are the 24 elements of the field? Right? What is it? It comprises of the 5 great elements. We know, right? What are the 5 great elements? Then false ego, intelligence, the unmanifested, the 10 senses, the mind, the 5 sense objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregate, the life symptoms, and the convictions. And all these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interactions. Okay, the central theme of the purport. Okay, see, indicates that field or body is a non-permanent material thing, and Kshetragna, or the knower of the field, is different from the field. So Kshetra and Kshetragna is different. Kshetra means body, and Kshetragna means knower of the body, that is the soul. So the Kshetra and the Kshetragna are different. Okay. So next, components of the fields of activities. What are the components of the body? Right? See, 5 great elements. Okay. So first, I just want to, okay, fine. Okay. 5 great elements, 5 sense objects, 11 senses, including mind, intelligence, and false ego. Unmanifested stage of 3 modes called what? I'm not able to see that. Pradhana. Okay. Pradhana. So you see, actually, the 24 elements, first 5 elements are the earth. It is made up of, see, they're totally 24. Okay, you can keep counting. Okay, so the first 5 great elements are what? Panchamahabhuta: earth, water, fire, air, ether. So these make up the physical or gross body. So your bones, your blood, heat, breath, and space inside the body are made up of these. Okay, whatever your bones, your blood, the heat, the breath, and space inside your body is because of these 5 elements. And next is the subtle part. So these are not visible, but they are still material. What is that? False ego means your ahankara. So you say, right, out of false ego, you say, I am this body, right? So that false ego. Because of that false ego only, we are in this material world, right? That's why we get this spiritual body. So next is intelligence, buddhi. Obviously, the intelligence that decides what is good or bad. I mean, what we have to do, what not to do, right? And next is pradhana. How many of you know what is pradhana? Okay, so pradhana is like material nature in its unmanifest, undifferentiated stage. See, before this material nature existed, it is there in its unmanifest stage. Right? When it is ready to become manifest, it is in its unmanifest stage, where you can't see. Everything is there actually, but you are not able to see it. See, it becomes manifest. See, you are, I mean, like, it is the total material energy before creation becomes active. So it is like unmanifest. Everything is there as it is, but it is unmanifest. You can't see it. Okay, so there you can't see the planets, you can't see the bodies, you can't see all these separate elements, right? And Prakriti means what? It comprises mainly of what? The modes. The 3 modes are not interacting strongly. They are in what do you say? They are in what do you say? They are not interacting. They are like in equilibrium. They are not disturbed. See, now everything in the material world is because of these interaction of these 3 modes, right? So that time when it is unmanifest, they are not disturbed. They're like steady. They are in equilibrium. They're not moving. So the 3 modes, sattva, raja, tamaguna, they are not interacting. They're just like normal. They're in equilibrium. They're like stable because it is still unmanifest. The material nature is still not manifest. Okay, it is still unmanifest. So that stage is called pradhana.
Mataji,
Where, yes, Mataji?
that means it is like manifested, but it is not. I mean, it is visible. I mean, how to say? What you're saying is like the three, all the three powers or whatever it is there, but it is not in existence. It's like that. We are not.
No,
I'm
you
not able
can't
to
see it.
understand.
It is already there. See, everything is created. It
Okay.
is see, Mataji, like the whole material world, it is not created every time and destroyed every time. It becomes manifest, like it disappears and it appears. So nothing is destroyed or created. That we must understand. See, when pralaya comes, what happens is, it is not that they break into pieces and they get destroyed and everything goes. The whole thing as it is goes inside into the body of Mahavishnu. So it becomes like when it goes inside the body of Mahavishnu, it's like it disappears. It becomes unmanifest. You're not able to see,
Okay. That is
right?
just existing but not reacting.
Yeah,
Existing but not.
exactly. Existing, but you can't see it. Exactly, Mataji. That is the point you have to catch, right? So it is existing, but we cannot see it. See, next they'll tell you like when it can be seen. When the Supreme Lord glances on material nature, on that pradhana, when he glances, then it becomes manifest. Then the the three gunas, which were steady till that time, they get agitated and they start working. The three gunas, they start working. So it is like this, Matajis and Prabhujis, like from pradhana, after pradhana means the unmanifest material nature. Everything is there as it is. Creation is there as it is, but we are not able to see. That is unmanifest. That stage is called pradhana. Okay, and once the Lord glances, Mahavishnu glances on that, then everything becomes active. It becomes manifest. That manifest means what? Now you can see Prakriti, material nature, everything. So that part after manifestation is called Mahat Tattva. Like how unmanifest, that name is given Pradhana for material nature, and manifest is called Mahat Tattva. Okay, and when once the Prakriti come, Mahat Tattva, then false ego comes. Then out of false ego, the elements come. Then the universe, everything comes. Okay, it is like that. Okay, so the Pradhana means what? It is unmanifest Prakriti. So nothing is being, I mean, like everything is there, but we can't see it. That is unmanifest. That is Pradhana. Okay, so those three. Next is the 11 senses. What are the 11 senses? Five knowledge senses. Five knowledge senses are what? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. And five working senses are hands, legs, speech, anus, genitals. And plus one more is the mind. So the mind coordinates everything, right? So 5 plus 5 plus 1, that is 11. Next is five sense objects. Okay, this is what is the main criteria, right? In this material world, we are after sense objects, right? Form, sound, smell, taste, touch. So these are like these sense objects are like pulling the senses like magnets in different directions. I want to eat that. I want to hear that, or I want to see that. So they're pulling us like magnets. They're pulling the senses, these sense objects. And next is like the internal experiences, like what now, like we may have desire, hatred, happiness. It's because of this body only we have all these, right? Desire, hatred, happiness, distress, okay, determination. So all these are also part of the body. So body means, just don't think it's just made up of earth, water, fire, everything. So it consists of the senses, the sense objects, working senses, all these emotions, different kinds of emotions. So everything, see, it means the field is just not flesh, bones, body. So it includes the body, the senses, the mind, emotions, ego, and mental reactions. Okay, so it's the same thing. See, interaction of gross and subtle body. Okay, desire, hatred, happiness, distress. So subtle body, it represents by consciousness, and six, what, I'm not able to see, sorry. And pradhana, we've told, right? Five great elements are a gross representation of false ego, technically called as materialistic conception or tamasa buddhi. Okay, so pradhana, that is the main thing. And then basis of this knowledge, authorities, we see, right? What is the basis of this knowledge? We said, right, the great sages have written in the Vedas and the Upanishads. That is the basis of all this. 6 changes in the body we saw, right? Takes birth, grows, stays, byproducts, decay, and all these vikaras. So that is what Krishna is saying. See, after listing everything, all these points, Krishna, he reminds us that this entire system is temporary. Okay, whatever you're seeing, all this is temporary. So it changes like birth, growth, maintenance, production, decay, death. But the knower of the field is different. Okay, the body which is made up of, I mean, like, which constitutes these 24 elements is different from the soul. Okay, the soul is not one of these 24 elements. It is totally different. The soul is just the observer inside this body. It has nothing to do with the body. Okay, the body is just being played by, when it comes into this material nature, it is just like a puppet in the hands of the 3 gunas. The soul has nothing to do with it. Okay? Interactions and transformations of the FOA. Okay. Okay, so now 8 to 12. They are, Krishna is describing the qualities of devotees. Humility, pridelessness. Okay, instead of reading, we directly go. Okay. So humility, amanitvam, means what? Not to be anxious, to have satisfaction of being honored. Pridelessness, adambitvam, understanding you are not the body, and thus honor and dishonor are the same. See, when you don't think, see, when you think you are the body, you want praise, honor, everything, you want recognition. But if you understand that you are not the body and you're the soul, for you, I mean, like, you are not bothered, right? You don't want honor, dishonor, they're both equal to you because you are not on that bodily platform. Non-violence, I mean, these qualities are about pure devotees. Okay, non-violence, ahimsa, unless one elevates people to spiritual knowledge, one is practicing violence. So, till the time we educate them in spiritual knowledge, telling them that you're the soul, you're not this body, your duty is to serve the Lord, you are committing spiritual suicide. So, that is practicing violence. So, unless we elevate people to that spiritual knowledge, we are practicing violence. Tolerance, Shantir, be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others. Okay. Simplicity means being simple, means so straightforward that you can disclose the truth even to an enemy. So you have to be so simple that you have to have the courage. You have to be so straightforward that you can even tell the secret. Sometimes you don't share your secrets with the enemy, right? But if the enemy comes and asks you, you should be so straightforward, so simple that you should be able to reveal that secret also to the enemy. Accepting a spiritual master, so that is very important. Many people say, what is the need of a spiritual master? It is between Krishna and me. Why do I need a guru? No, the guru is like a via medium between us and Krishna. So Krishna, he doesn't recognize us. It is the guru. Once we go to Goloka, it's the guru who introduces us to Krishna. Otherwise, Krishna will not recognize us. I mean, and not recognizing this, what qualification do we have even to go to Goloka without the mercy of our gurus? Right? Forget about going there. We are not even eligible to enter there. Right? We are fortunate that we have, what do you say, acharyas who are coming in that disciplic succession. I mean, and we are being initiated by them. It's pure causeless mercy that we are fortunate that we are being in that parampara. Right? It's just their causeless mercy. Otherwise, if they are not so merciful, where would we be? right? So accepting a spiritual master is very, very important, and following their instructions is also very important. So cleanliness, shaucham, bathing. So external cleanliness is by bathing, internal cleanliness is by chanting. Steadiness, thairyam. So determined to make progress in spiritual life. Self-control, reject anything unfavorable to spiritual advancement, and control the senses. Okay, so you have to, I mean, like, whatever is favorable for spiritually advancing, that only you have to accept, and you have to reject what is unfavorable. Renunciation of sense objects, not to cater unnecessary demands, gratified only to keep body fit for demands. Not like, I mean, like, going outside and eating pani puri, bhaji, or whatever that you eat outside, right? So for your sense gratification that you find on the streets or wherever in restaurants. So just eat healthy food to keep your body and soul together, and don't go for these unnecessary demands. Some people, they go for luxuries for the body, right? So don't go for all that. Just whatever is needed to keep your soul and body together. So just try to have those. Absence of false ego, ahankara. So reject I am this body or the mind, accept that I'm Krishna's servant. So when we understand that we are not this body, we are separate from the body, we understand that we are the soul. And what is the swarupa of the soul? Jiva swarupa hai Krishna Nityadas. So Nityadas, we are the Krishna's eternal servant. The perceptions of evil, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshanam. So regularly hearing about these from proper source become disgusted with material life. So when we hear about this material, see, if we don't read the Bhagavad Gita, many of us don't understand that this place, this material world, is a place of suffering. Until we tell them, they don't even know that it is a place of suffering. They think it is so nice. If I just make money, I will be comfortable. I'll have a big house. I'll have a nice, comfortable bed to sleep. Now I'll have 24, 25 items to eat. Nicely, I will sleep, eat. What else is needed? That's what they think. Nicely, money I will get, money I will earn. I will go for tours, American international tours, nicely enjoy. So they don't even understand that. They think that is happiness. Okay, they don't understand that this material world is like Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, Doshanu, Darshanam. Unless somebody like a spiritual guru or a senior Vaishnava comes and tells them, they don't understand that. So only if they hear from the proper source do they become disgusted with material life. Otherwise, they think, I'm so happy. There is nobody who's more happier than me. That's what they think. But this Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi, Dukkha, I mean, everybody has to face, be it rich or poor or white or black or whoever, right? They have to face these four problems. Everybody, right? So, detachment, asakti, be ready to sacrifice everything for Krishna. No entanglement with wife, children, family, etc. So, what does this mean? This does not mean you leave your family members and you just practice Krishna consciousness by yourself. So, we should do it as a whole. Like, we should engage our whole family in Krishna consciousness. And like we should, as a family, like we can engage our children. Like somebody can do the kirtan, somebody can play the kartal, somebody can sing the bhajan, and the Mataji she can make the garland, and the Prabhuji can do something else like that. So all the family together can come together and practice Krishna consciousness. Okay, even mindedness, nityam cha samachittam ishtanishtopatishu. Okay, not elated or distressed at material gain or loss by performing unbreakable devotional service. So these people, these pure devotees, they don't get happy when there is a profit or when they get something, or they don't when there is some when they lose something, they don't get distressed at material gain or loss. For them, it is equal. They know Krishna is taking care of them. Well, right? They focus more. They just focus on devotional service. Whether whether they get a profit or a loss materially, they are not bothered because they know Krishna will take care of them somehow. Okay, so they're not least bothered. So they just continue with the service, devotional service. That's all. That is their main goal. Unalloyed devotional service, Ananya Bhakti. So engaging oneself in the 9 processes of bhakti. So there are 9 processes of bhakti, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So these are the 9 processes of devotional service, and we can take either one, or we can take one or two or three or all of them, right? Even if we become perfect in one of them, we can go back to Godhead. Okay, if you are chanting, chant seriously, right? You can go back to Godhead. If you are perfect in hearing like Parikshit Maharaj, you can go back to Godhead like Parikshit Maharaj. Or Kirtanam, if you are good at like Sukadev Goswami in telling the Srimad Bhagavatam, right? You can, even Sukadev Goswami went back to Godhead, so you can go back to Godhead. Or like Bali Maharaj, he was perfect in all these 9, right? He also went back to Godhead. So like that, either one or all, whatever. But be perfect in whatever thing that you're doing, and you can go back to Godhead. Aspiring to live in a solitary place. Okay, so, solitary place means we are not asking you to go to the forest. It means to say that you don't mix with materialistic people. So always live in the association of devotees. Okay, and detachment from the general mass of the people, it's the same thing, like don't mix with materialistic people. See, if you already see we have so many so many desires, material desires, and if we still mix with these material people, our desires will not decrease, they will further increase. So if you associate with them, it instead of it will worsen our bhakti. Okay, that's why we should not get attached with these material people. We should get detached, but attached to devotees. Okay, accepting the importance of self-realization. See, when you understand the importance of spirituality, automatically what do? We try to get time for spirituality, and we try to minimize all our material activities. Like we give up unnecessary sporting, like here in the PPT it is said, you stop watching sports or whatever that you give up all, because all these are like for entertainment, temporary pleasure, right? So you stop going to movies, you stop watching TV serials, politics, or you stop doing all these social activities. Main thing is like you stop going to restaurants or parties. All these things because they are their main intention is you don't want to waste time in all these material activities, which are like temporary pleasure, and like they just go away with time. They just waste your time, right? So you don't want to waste time by doing all these material activities. Philosophical search, rejection of useless research and philosophical topics. See, we should not like nowadays, if you see, spirituality has become so famous that wherever you see any person, even a common person, is making spiritual videos. You see on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube. So we should not go for all these videos. Don't listen to them. Even though they may look attractive, they may look very real, the information may look very authoritative, but don't go and listen to each and everything. Okay, just go. Like if you think it is authoritative, then only you listen. Otherwise, don't listen to, like everybody, now if you open all these social media, everybody, it's become a fashion. Like who knows or not, whatever comes to their mind, they will be just telling. And we think that is true. Okay, so we should not see. Now since we are following the ISKCON, we come under the Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Parampara. Right? We are so fortunate to be associated with such a great parampara. So why not? We have so many great acharyas, so many for instance, our own very Prabhupada. He has done so much for us, right? so much sacrifice for us. Why not listen to his speeches? And his disciples and our previous acharyas have written so many books. Why not read their books and Prabhupada's books? Right? Why do we have to waste time in listening to all unimportant others useless speeches? Right? Okay, 13. I shall now explain the knowable, knowing which you will taste the eternal. Brahman, the spirit, the beginningless and subordinate to me, lies beyond the cause and effect of this material world. So in this shloka, they are explaining about the soul, the spirit soul. Okay? Gnayam. Gnayam means the knowable. The soul and super soul are the real objects to be known. Okay, so these are the this is Gnayam, knowable. Soul and the super soul are the real objects to be known. This verse answers Arjuna's sixth question: what is Gnayam? So Gnayam means soul and super soul are the real objects to be known. In this particular shloka, they are referring to the soul, the first thing, that is soul. Okay, Gnayam means the object of knowledge. So the object of knowledge is the soul and the super soul. Who are the Gnaya? Knowable. So Vijnana Brahma means that is living entity as a knowable, and Ananda Brahma means the super soul. So super soul is on the stage of Ananda, right? And then Vijnana Brahma. We saw, right? Vijnana Maya is what? He comes to understand that he is not the body and he is the soul. So Vijnana Brahma is the soul. And Ananda Brahma is the super soul who is in a blissful state. So, what are the benefits of knowing the knowable? So, benefit of knowing the knowable, one can relish the nectar of life. Why? See, until if if we don't know that we are the soul and we just think that we are the body, so we will be just on the enjoying or doing things on the bodily platform, thinking we are the body. But as soon as we know we are the soul, we start connecting with the super soul. So, when we do our Swarupa, then we get the highest happiness. We get the nectar of life. 14. Sarvataha pani padam tat sarvato akshishiro mukham sarvataha shrutimaloke sarvam avritya tishtati. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads, and faces, and his ears everywhere. In this way, the super soul exists, pervading everything. Okay, so when we see this picture, it does not literally mean that God has his hands everywhere, everything, everywhere. It means that he pervades, he's present everywhere. Okay, so does God literally have infinite hands? Means, see, and not in a material sense, right? We don't expect that God will have 1,000 hands and he'll be with that figure. So it just means to say that he's all pervading the nature as Paramatma. So as Paramatma, he's present in everything. That is what they're trying to say. When they're saying so many arms, so many eyes, so many legs, or so many stomachs, it's just they're trying to say that he's present everywhere in the material world. So wherever their hands means their ability to do something comes from Krishna. And wherever we see their eyes means their power of sight comes from Krishna. See, the people who are living in the world, so that power comes from Krishna. They are able to see because of Krishna. That power of sight comes from Krishna. And if you are saying that when the universe, the form has their ears everywhere, it means that power of hearing comes from Krishna. Okay, because he is present as a super soul, we are able to get all these. Okay, so he is present in every living being as the super soul. See, for example, you think of the sun. See, the sun. See, the sun. It shines in the sky, but its light enters your room, the ocean, the forest, and city. So it seems present everywhere. Okay, actually, the sun is in the sky, but it is entering your room, it is entering the forest, it is entering the ocean, everywhere it is entering the same sun. Okay, so similarly, the super soul is one, right? He is present in all the hearts. Like how the sun is one, it is present in the sky and it is entering in different parts, right? Like into your house, into the forest, into the ocean, everywhere. So like that, the super soul is one, like the sun, but he is entering into different living entities. Okay, he is present in the heart of all living entities. Okay. So basically, we have to understand here in the shloka when they're saying that he has hands and legs everywhere, it does not literally mean that he has so many hands and legs. It just means to say that say that Krishna is present through his energies, and his energies pervade everything here. They're present in the world. I mean, they spread throughout the entire material universe. Okay. So actually, Krishna, he remains in the spiritual world in Goloka Vrindavan, but through his energies, he is spread throughout the universe through his energies. Okay, so that is what we have to understand. When there are so many hands and legs, means it does not literally mean that like that. So it means he pervades throughout the entire material universe through his energies. सर्वेन्द्रिय गुणाभासं सर्वेन्द्रिय विवर्जितम् असक्तं सर्वभृच्चैव निर्गुणं गुणभोक्तृ च. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The super soul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. He is unattached, although he is the maintainer of all living beings. He transcends the modes of nature, and at the same time, he is the master of all modes of material nature. Okay, so here they're saying that the super soul is the original source of all senses, yet he is without senses. So, what should we understand when we say without senses means Krishna? We should not think that he is without senses totally, right? It means he is without material senses like us. Okay, he has spiritual senses, he has transcendental senses. Okay, so each of the senses that Krishna has can do the part of any other sense. Like, for example, for our eyes are material. With our eyes, we can only see. But Krishna, with his eyes, he can eat. With his eyes, he can speak. With his mouth, he can see. Okay, so he can do anything, right? So his senses are spiritual, not like ours. So when we say that he's without senses, means he's not with, like without material senses. That is what they mean to say. Not Krishna does not have material senses like us. His senses are spiritual. And next, unattached, yet he's the maintainer of all. So he maintains everything, the planets, the bodies, the laws of nature, karma, but yet he is not entangled. See, it's like this. See, the sun, it supports life, everything, but it is not affected by what happens on earth. See, the sun, it gives us light and heat, but it is unaffected by what happens on earth. So, like that, Krishna also, he maintains, he sustains everything, but he remains independent, like the sun. Okay, the sun also gives light and heat for all of us, right? But it remains unaffected by what is happening on earth. So, like that, Krishna also, he maintains everything, he sustains everything on earth, but he remains independent, like the sun example. And next, what are they saying? He is beyond the modes, yet he is the master of the modes. So, he created the three modes, the three gunas, but he is beyond the modes because Krishna is transcendental, right? He does not belong to this material world. So he is above the modes. The three modes are material modes. So Krishna is above the modes, right? He's in Shuddha Sattva. Okay, so he is transcendental above these modes. He is in Shuddha Sattva. So and he is the one who what do you say, operates these three gunas, right? The three gunas do not control him, but I mean, we are affected by the modes, right? But Krishna, he directs the modes, right? Like that. So Krishna is beyond the material qualities. So he has only spiritual qualities because he is transcendental. Though he may appear like though he comes to this material world, but still, however he comes, whatever expansion or as it is he comes, he is always, his body is transcendental, spiritual. 13.16. The supreme truth exists both internally and externally in the moving and non-moving. He is beyond the power of the material senses to see or to know. Although far, far away, he is also near to all. Supreme truth exists both internally. Okay, internally and externally. Okay, how does he exist internally? So internally he exists. Yeah.
Mataji as the super soul.
Hari Bol. Yes, Prabhuji. Correct. Perfect. So inside inside is there as Paramatma in everybody's heart, and there as Paramatma, he is the witness, he's a sanctioner, and he gives us remembrance and forgetfulness. So he is there inside as Paramatma, and outside how is he present? Externally how is he present?
Mataji as the different energies.
Yes, Hari Bol. Perfect, perfect. As his different energies and his different expansions. Okay, with these, he controls the entire material world. Okay, and next he's saying in the moving and non moving. So he's present in the humans, animals, trees, mountains, planets. So he pervades everything. So please don't think that he's not present in the stone. He's present in the stone, he's present in the table, he's present in the chair, he's present in everything. Okay, so it's, but we have to understand one thing, the soul may not be present in the table chair, but the super soul is present in everything, in the planets, in the chair, in the table, atoms, everything. He is present as super soul. So in moving and non-moving, he is present, he pervades everywhere as the super soul. And next, because he is he is beyond the power of the material senses. That means he's subtle. See, the material senses cannot see. I mean, we cannot see with the see him with the material eyes. Like we cannot see him like how we can see a chair. It's because you can't measure him with instruments. Why? Because Krishna, he's not. He's beyond the material spectrum because he's transcendental, right? See, we cannot see with our material eyes something transcendental, right? So that's why we cannot see him with our material senses because he is transcendental. Okay, although far, far away, he is also near to all. How is he far away? Where is he far away? Where is he far away? Anybody?
Mataji, is it Goloka Vrindavan?
Haribol, yes, perfect, Mataji. Yeah. See, though he's far away from us, like he's in Goloka Vrindavan, he's in the spiritual world, but yet he's very near. How is he still near to us?
Super soul present in our heart.
Yeah, he's so close to us, right? He's so close to us near our heart. So, though far away, though he may be in, physically is there in Goloka Vrindavan, at the same time he's present as super soul in the heart, very, very near to us. Okay, so that is the thing here. 17. Avibhaktam cha bhuteshu vibhaktam eva cha sthitam bhuta bhartrucha tachmeyam Grasishnu, Pravavishnu cha. Although the super soul appears to be divided among all beings, he is never divided. He is situated as one. Although he is the maintainer of every living entity, it is to be understood that he devours and develops all. Okay, so here in the shloka, they're telling the super soul, he appears divided among all living beings. It appears, but it is not like it appears divided among all living beings, but is actually one and undivided. And what else are they saying? Maintains all living beings. Okay, the super soul, he maintains all living beings, he creates everything, he devours everything at annihilation. So, first, what are they saying? Undivided yet appearing divided. See, why is the like how why is it appearing divided? Because we think that there's so many living entities and so many non-living entities, and when Krishna enters as Paramatma into all, we think that the Paramatma is divided into small pieces and he's entering into everybody, right? But he's not undivided. Though he is present in everybody's heart, that does not mean he's cut into pieces. It means he's fully present everywhere. See, for example, if you see, take the example of the sun. See, the sun is reflected, the sun is in the sky, and you put 100 pots of water. Now you can see the sun in all the 100 pots. The same sun is like, it appears to be divided in 100 pots. In the water, if you see, you can see the sun in all the 100 water pots. But does it mean that the sun is divided into 100 parts? No, right? The same sun is being seen in 100 things, right? That one sun. So, like that, here also the super soul, though he enters the whole universe or all the living entities, it is like it appears to be divided, but it is not divided. It's the same super soul who is present in everybody. Okay, so that is what we have to understand. We should not understand that because he's there in all the living entities, he's being cut into pieces and that is how he's entering everybody as the heart. No, it's like the sun. This is the same sun. When you put it in, see the reflection in 100 pots, we can see the sun in 100 pots. But does that mean the sun got divided into 100 parts? No, right? The same sun can be seen in 100 pots. So that one super soul is present in the heart of every living entity.
Mataji,
Yes, Prabhuji?
Mataji, so with this example, can we understand that Sri Krishna, uh, Sri Krishna's, uh, Sri Krishna's reflection in present in every living entities and animals as Paramatma?
Yeah, you can take it like that, Prabhuji. It is like that. How like the sun's reflection means what we are just telling, like because that light, because of that light, you are able to see the reflection of the sun, right? Similarly, the super soul is present along with the soul in every living entity. Okay, without the super soul, nobody can exist. See, actually, when death occurs, what happens is, along with the super soul also, the subtle body, the soul, super soul, all enter into the next body. See, if only soul is there, it's of no use. You need the soul along with the super soul. Super soul also has to be there because it's the super soul who gives us the remembrance. Like, see, this is what you wanted to do in your last janma. So he gives us the remembrance, forget what we have to forget, what we have to remember. He is like a witness. So the super soul is there, it is present in every living entity. So he guides, he is like a witness. So in every living entity, he is there as super soul along with the soul and the subtle body. Okay, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Okay. So now next he is the maintainer of all living beings. So every living entity survives because of Krishna, because he maintains the material world. See, we are able to breathe, planets move, right? Planets are sustained by him, right? We say that it is because of the gravitational force that they are rotating in their orbit and rotating in a particular path, but it is because of Krishna, right? And our bodies function or we are able to breathe, it's because of Krishna. He's present as super soul. That's why we are able to do all these. So he's the maintainer of all the living beings. So nothing, we are not independent of Krishna. So he's the maintainer of all living beings. So everything is under his supervision. Okay, next they are saying devouring and again creating. So what happens at creation means what? He manifests the universe. We already discussed, right? See, creation means what? The same thing that is existing becomes manifest. We can see. Okay, he manifests the universe. So at right, that is creation. So manifest and unmanifest, the same thing is there, but manifest and unmanifest. So we can see it when creation happens, we can see it. When annihilation happens, we cannot see it. That is the only difference. And when we can see it, and Krishna maintains it. So he creates, he maintains, and he destroys. Okay, so Krishna is the creator, maintainer, and the destroyer. But yet he is always transcendental. He remains untouched by the material world. Okay, so let's go to 18. Super soul is undivided, it's the same thing. Super soul is one, right? Same thing. Okay, 18. He is the source of light in all luminous objects. He is beyond the darkness of matter and is unmanifested. He is knowledge. He is the object of knowledge and he is the goal of knowledge. He is situated in everyone's heart. So, first they are saying Krishna, he is the source of all light in luminous objects. See, we see that the sun shines, the moon glows, the stars sparkle, but how is it that they get that light? Okay, that light comes ultimately from Krishna. So in the spiritual world, actually, if you see, there is no need of electricity, sun or moon over there. Okay, so how is it illuminated in the spiritual world? It is because of the effulgence coming from the body of Krishna. Okay, and the sun and the moon or the stars get its light from the effulgence of Krishna. Okay, so that is what we have to understand. And he is beyond material darkness. Material darkness means what? Darkness here means ignorance. So material existence, it covers the real knowledge. Okay, it keeps us under illusion. In the material world, we are kept in illusion. We are covered by Maya, that illusion of Maya. Right? We think that in that illusion, we think that we are the body and we are the enjoyers. We are masters and everything in this material world is ours. So Krishna, he is beyond that covering. He is beyond that ignorance. He is completely spiritual. He is untouched by matter. And next they are saying that he is the knowledge, object of knowledge and the goal. Okay, so knowledge means what? The process of understanding. Object of knowledge is what we seek to understand. Goal of knowledge is the final realization. So all the three is what? The knowledge, object of knowledge, goal of knowledge is what? To know Krishna. Okay, so why are we actually reading, studying scriptures or practicing devotion or we want liberation? Ultimate purpose is to know Krishna. Right? So that is why we do all this. So our object of knowledge, goal of knowledge, everything is Krishna. Okay, and next they are saying he's situated in everyone's heart. Right? So he's not far away, he's always very close to us. Okay, so he guides us within as Paramatma. So he gives us knowledge, he gives us remembrance, he gives us forgetfulness. He's like a witness. He sanctions our desires, everything as Paramatma. So same thing is being said here. So 19th. Qualification to understand Kshetra, Kshetragna, Gnana and Gnayam. What is 19th shloka? It's not given. One second, I'll just open the 19th shloka. Okay, translation 19th shloka. Thus the field of activities, the body, knowledge, and noble have been summarily described by me. Only my devotees can understand this thoroughly and thus attain to my nature. So now Krishna is telling that he has explained about the field of activity, that is the body, knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is about the body, the kshetra and kshetragna. Kshetra means body, kshetragna means soul and super soul. So knowledge means what? Of all the three, body, soul, super soul. And noble is what? Super soul. So he's saying that I've all described all the summary, and but who can understand? Only my devotees can understand thoroughly, he's saying. So let's see what they're saying in the purport. So Krishna is saying that only his devotees can truly understand him. See, why not just a scholar? See, because it's only devotees can understand and not any scholar kind of person. Because see, when what hmm, see, by reading books, you cannot come to know a person. See, you can read many books about someone, you can study their history, you can know their qualities, you can know their powers. But unless you love them and you have a relationship with them, you do not really know about them. Okay, so real knowledge about Krishna is like that. See, it is not just information, it is like a change in the heart. See, when someone becomes a devotee, they think about Krishna. See, many people, that is why they misunderstand the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita, they think it is only about philosophy. See, Bhagavad Gita is about developing love for Krishna, bhakti for Krishna. That is missing. Many people, they just take the philosophy of the Bhagavad Gita. That essence is missing. See, that is the difference between a devotee and a non-devotee. Okay, that love aspect is missing in the non-devotee. Even they read the Bhagavad Gita, but in a philosophy, scholarly way they read. Right? But the devotee, he loves Krishna with his heart. Okay, so that is why Krishna here is saying the devotees understand it in a different way. Only the devotees can understand perfectly, not a scholarly person. Okay, why? Because a devotee always thinks about Krishna, they try to serve him, they trust him, they remember him, and their consciousness is focused, centered on Krishna. Okay, so that's why then their knowledge becomes real and personal. See, it's like we'll take a simple example. See, you can study everything about honey, its color, its chemical structure, its origin. But until you taste it, you do not truly know it. Okay, so devotion is like that tasting. And scholarship alone means scholarship is just like reading the label. Okay, so when Krishna says only his devotee can understand him, he means that real understanding comes when, how do you, through love and surrender. So, not just by thinking and analyzing. Okay, so knowledge becomes alive when the heart is involved. So, that is why bhakti we say, not jnana or ashtanga yoga, where there is no love or anything, no relationship with God. It's so mechanical, right? So that's why that love and surrender is very important. Okay, such people, they attain my nature, Krishna is saying, means they come back to my loka. So here let's see qualifications to understand the kshetra, kshetragna, gnana. I have explained. Krishna is saying, see, only devotees, fully understood by devotees. Kshetra, the field of activities. Kshetragna means what? Both the soul and the super soul. Gnana. Gnana means what? Knowledge of both the kshetra and the kshetragna. Gnayam. Gnayam means the object of knowledge. That is super soul. Right? Knowledge. Knowledge means understanding oneself in Krishna consciousness and realizing Krishna in everything. Knowledge is nothing but preliminary stage of understanding devotional service perfectly. Vijnana, knower. So it's the same thing. Okay, that's what they are trying to say. So you have to understand Krishna. Only a devotee can understand Krishna, but how? Through love and surrender, but not by scholarly this thing, but just by thinking, theoretically analyzing, not like that. So knowledge becomes alive when the heart is involved. Okay. Okay, we'll stop here. 20 we'll take from the next class.